Blizzard confirms Diablo Immortal release date, here's when it will launch. Diablo Immortal unleashes hell on mobile and PC on June 2nd. Back in 2018, Blizzard teased that they'd be announcing something related to Diablo at Blizzcon, but that it would not be what many of you are hoping for. Sure enough, it wasn't Diablo 4, but a mobile game called Diablo Immortal. Blizzard's warnings didn't stop the developers from being booed on stage at BlizzCon, which seemed harsh. Activision Blizzard is currently under investigation following accusations of harassment, discrimination, and fostering a hostile work environment. After maintaining something close to radio silence for what seemed like years, Blizzard has finally unveiled new information on Diablo Immortal. However, since it's been so long since the company last talked about the game, there's a good chance you might require a refresher regarding the various ways the project is and isn't a typical Diablo game. Blizzard recently held a YouTube premiere event on the official Diablo Immortal channel where it has announced the official release date of the upcoming online multiplayer action role-playing game. Diablo Immortal has been under development for the last 4 years and it is set to be finally released for both mobile and PC on June 2nd. The mobile game will also release for both iOS and Android platforms. During BlizzCon 2018, Blizzard achieved internet infamy with the announcement of Diablo Immortal, the series' first mobile title. Fans in attendance responded with a resounding, "Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?" It was not, and gamers started to lose faith in Blizzard, which certainly hasn't been helped by subsequent lawsuits and controversies. Ever since the disastrous announcement, Blizzard rarely discussed Diablo Immortal and instead focused on titles like Diablo 4 and Diablo 2 Resurrected. Earlier today, though, Blizzard not only announced that Diablo Immortal would finally launch on June 2nd but will be available on PC as well as mobile devices. What a difference several years of fan backlash and industry shifts can make. Blizzard also took the time to introduce some new Diablo Immortal features. Not only are many of these additions necessary for the sake of the recently confirmed PC experience, but several are franchise firsts. Since the answer to the seemingly simple question, "What is Diablo Immortal?" has changed quite a lot in a very small amount of time, here's everything we know so far about Diablo Immortal and how it differs from or sticks to the franchise's formula. The World Stone is shattered, and it now falls to the heroes of Sanctuary to fend off the terrors rising in its wake. Blizzard Entertainment announced that, beginning June 2nd, players in most regions across the world will take up the call to defend against the burning hells in Diablo Immortal, the first Blizzard game designed from the ground up for mobile, with the remaining regions in Asia-Pacific gaining access a few weeks later. In addition to offering an uncompromised AAA experience on mobile, the most ambitious game released in the Diablo franchise's 25-year history will be playable on Windows PC at launch. Diablo Immortal supports both cross-play and cross-progression, allowing Sanctuary's heroes to join the fight with each other regardless of platform while being able to seamlessly transition between mobile and PC gameplay. The Diablo Immortal is set between Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, and Diablo 3, and players have to find all the fragments of the World Stone, the pieces remaining after the stone was shattered by Tyrell and scattered all over the Sanctuary. Diablo Immortal will keep some classic fan-favorite characters like Barbarian, Wizard, and Necromancer, as well as the idea of sets of weapons and armor and some unique items. Looting will also offer further customization of the character. Diablo Immortal features a MMORPG, massively multiplayer online action RPG, social experience that's completely new to the series. Players will share a massive world with others as they explore Sanctuary, form warbands with up to 8 members to take on group challenges such as the intense Heliquary raid bosses, and join clans with up to 150 friends to earn challenging clan achievements. The game also features a robust faction-based PvP system. With the cycle of strife, players can band together to fight in an ongoing war in which the top player of the server will earn the Eternal Crown to become the leader of the Immortals. Diablo Immortal will be free to play with optional in-game purchases, ensuring the core game experience will always be free. Developed by Blizzard Entertainment and NetEase, Diablo Immortal will be available at launch on iOS, Android, and Windows PC via Battle.net. Over 30 million players have already pre-registered across all platforms to gain access as soon as the game launches, preparing themselves for the battles to come. All players will receive the stunning Horadrim cosmetic set to celebrate this significant milestone when the game launches. This is just the beginning, as new content will be released regularly to players for free in the years to come, including new zones, dungeons, and character classes. While Blizzard didn't mention the cash shop or battle pass in the recent announcements, it's probably safe to assume they will remain key pillars in Diablo Immortal's monetization. If you want a good approximation of how Diablo Immortal will play as an MMORPG, you should probably try Lost Ark, a successful recent entry into that genre that likely influenced these changes to Diablo Immortal's design and availability. In the past, Diablo games have launched as complete experiences. That doesn't mean recent entries were shipped incomplete, but rather that older entries in the series were released before the rise of downloadable updates and regular DLC updates. Diablo Immortal is really the first game in the series developed with those concepts in mind. When Diablo Immortal launches, players can look forward to 8 large zones, which is 2 more than were included in the game's 2020 alpha test. However, that number might not last for long, as that article also states developers will likely add more zones to the game post-release. Earlier Diablo Immortal articles also discussed rifts, which are a Diablo endgame tradition full of challenges and loot. While the recent announcement doesn't mention them, rifts will likely continue to be a large part of the game since players will use them to farm runes. Again, those are all concepts that most Diablo fans will likely be familiar with, but Diablo Immortal will include a few challenges never before seen in the series. In older Diablo games, every area and boss could be beaten solo. Teaming up with other players was optional, and sometimes considered to be the preferred way to play the games, but co-op in older Diablo titles really just existed to add a little spice to the experience. Diablo Immortal will introduce the franchise's first multiplayer mandatory challenges. For instance, the game will feature a standard MMO design staple, live events which will pop up occasionally and encourage player cooperation. Gamers don't technically have to form parties to complete those hellish fights, but multiple players will be participating in them at once. Diablo Immortal will also add raids to the franchise. Another MMO staple, Diablo Immortal's raids will test player skills and cooperation. The first in-game raid, the Helliquary, will launch with the game. As with zones, players can probably expect more live events and raids as Diablo Immortal post-launch development continues. As of now, this is all we know about the game. For more content updates, leave a like and subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon for notification of our new videos. As always, thank you for watching.